There are cases that begin with a body. Clean, simple, contained. And there are cases that begin with a question. One that doesn't stay where you put it. It moves from one name to another, from one place to the next, until you realize too late you were never following it at all. It was leading you. Some families carry their history in ledgers and letters. Others carry it in silence, in things carefully left unspoken. And sometimes in the spaces where something has been removed. A missing record, a broken lineage, a name that should have died but didn't. What begins as an investigation becomes something else. Because there are forces in this world that do not forget. They wait, they watch, and when the time is right, they reach back. This is a story of inheritance, of buried truths clawing their way to the surface, and of a man who learns too late that some questions are not meant to be answered. The Eldritch episodes present Dead River Requiem, an original story.
The train into town last night. Step off the platform, but it don't feel right. My baby's smiling, but his eyes don't shine. He wrings his hands, but he won't touch mine. Through the haze, street lamps glow, as if the angels lost their I search the crowd for my angel sweet, but it's the devil staring back at me. Of faith, but it don't sound like love. The river keeps on rolling on. It sings a never-ending morning song. Faces dance with the water swell. They drift and stream like they're heading to hell. Water is troubled by the storm. The spirits
My name's Thomas Malone, Bureau of Investigation. That's what it says on the door, anyway. What it doesn't say is that the door is in the basement that smells like mildew, old paper, and regret. J. Edgar Hoover hired me to watch the shadows. Then he stuck me in a basement. Down here, the lights buzz like they're nervous, and files come in stacks. Fat ones, thin ones, and the kind nobody else wants. The kind with a big angry X scrawled across the cover in grease pencil. The ones regular agents and local cops don't want touching their careers. The weird bollocks cases. They dump those on my desk and pretend they never existed. In the 3 years I've been with the Bureau, 99% of what crosses my path turns out to be nothing. Lunatics, grifters, drunks, or a small town police department too lazy, too incompetent, or too scared to do its job. Most of the time, the world makes sense if you squint hard enough. But then there's that 1%. That 1% that leads to places like Dunwich, Massachusetts. Those files don't close easy. They just stop. Usually the cases find their way to me in a stack. This one didn't. This one was hand-delivered. Locked room case. With my name on it. Literally. A man nearly tortured to death in Oakery Island Hospital for the criminally insane. Maximum security, solitary confinement, surrounded by water, guarded by routine and built on the comforting lie that walls and locks mean safety. They found Charles D. Landry just before dawn, still breathing, barely. Landry had been tortured. Not the frantic kind, the methodical kind. And on the wall of his cell, written neatly, deliberately in his own blood, was my name. Oakery Island sits in the Chesapeake, like a bad thought you can't shake. All water, no shade. The kind of place where the air sticks to you and refuses to let go. It was hot. Not the honest heat you can sweat through. A muggy kind. The kind that makes you feel like something's watching, even when there's nowhere for it to hide. The hospital rose out of it like a concrete confession. They call it a hospital, but it's only a prison that's learned better manners. No town, no ferry traffic. Landing strictly controlled. You don't end up here by accident, and you don't leave unless someone decides you can.
You're Agent Malone?
That's me.
I'm Deputy Warden Haskins. Before we go any further, I'll need you to turn over your firearm.
The Bureau of Investigation investigates. When we need enforcement, we borrow it. Our charter doesn't allow agents to carry firearms. Well, my boss is working to change that.
Well, you won't find much to shoot anyway. No suspects, no weapons recovered. 3 guards on the unit, all with impeccable records. All of them swear they didn't hear a thing.
And you believe them?
I do. We don't run an institution that turns a blind eye to abuse. 1 guard at each end of the unit. The third's in an office overlooking the floor. Locked doors, clear sight lines. No one could have entered unseen. None of the other inmates reported hearing a thing.
Locked doors, guarded corridors. A building designed for control.
This is it.
Landry's cell was small. Clean. Too clean for what happened in it. And on the wall, the blood wasn't smeared. It wasn't frantic. It was neat. Deliberate. Someone had taken their time. That's right.
Someone left you a message, Agent Malone. And, for the record, Landry was functionally illiterate. Could barely write his own name, let alone Latin.
On the wall, neatly written in blood, the message. Agent Thomas Malone, quod quares est in orbre obre, senex Romin marine contingit. Underneath, like a signature, one word, Exum.
You read Latin?
Enough. What you seek for is in the city, where the Old Man River meets the sea. It wasn't a threat, it wasn't a confession. It was an invitation. Why was Laundry here?
Charles D. Landry, age 37, criminally insane. Convicted of cannibalism in 1922. Murdered, butchered, and partially consumed 2 children.
Jesus.
And transferred here 4 years ago after killing another inmate and crippling a guard at his previous facility.
What sort of man was he?
Dangerous. This here is our highest security unit. The most violent offenders we house. Landry wasn't removed from his cells without restraints. Wrists and ankles shackled, and at least 3 guards escorting him.
And someone did this to him in that cell. What's the D in his name stand for?
Delapois.
There it was. The part of the puzzle that clicks a little too easily. I stopped believing in coincidences a long time ago. Especially when my name was written on a wall. By a man who shouldn't have had company. What kind of shape is Laundry in?
Not good. The doctor's amazed he's even still alive. Burns consistent with a heated iron, mutilation, fingers, toes, and other parts. We found nearly everything neatly arranged in the sink.
I'm done here. Take me to Laundry.
This way, Agent Malone.
The infirmary smelled like antiseptic, piss, and old pain. A place where the living wait to see if they're going to stay that way.
This is as far as I go. Doctors say he drifts in and out.
I'll need a few moments alone with him.
If he starts shouting.
I'll shout back. Give us the room. Charles Landry was a big man. Red hair, pale skin, hard muscle under ruined flesh. The kind of build that doesn't go quietly. Whatever did this to him didn't overpower him. It took its time. His eyes found me like they'd been waiting. Like this wasn't an interview. Like it was an appointment.
You came.
I'm here.
You said you would.
Who said that, Charles?
The man. The one who walked in. Like the door weren't there.
Tell me what happened.
Middle of the night. No sound. No guards. Just stepped inside. I couldn't move. He had something hot. Burned me with it. Kept asking questions. Cut things off, but I didn't answer quick.
About what?
My kin. My blood. My great uncle. Randolph.
Randolph who?
Delport. He wanted to know where Randolph went, if he was still alive, and what he left behind.
Left behind what?
The book. Old. Said it belonged to him. That we stole it long ago. He wanted it back. I told him. I told him. I didn't know. But he kept hurting me.
Did he say his name?
He didn't need to.
Then tell me what he looked like.
Kind of short. Black hair. Older. But not. And his eyes. Like he'd already seen Judgment Day. Spoke like a gentleman. Like he weren't doing nothing wrong at all.
I want you to look at something. A sketch I had made years before. I'd hoped I was wrong. I wasn't. Do you recognize this man?
No. No. That's him. That's him. He ain't done. He ain't done with none of us. He said the chains were gone. And he would get his revenge. That he would get what were his.
Get a doctor in here! Worked him on longer than they needed to. Maybe for him, maybe for themselves. Laundrie never told me what the book was. He never told me about Randolph. But he told me something worse. Whatever walked into that cell wasn't hiding anymore. It had wanted me to know. Back in my basement office, the heat followed me home. Same mildew, same buzzing lights, same feeling that the walls were leaning in to listen. I started pulling files, old ones with corners bent and names misspelled on purpose. Delapore. It wasn't just Laundrie. A Delapore cousin in New Jersey, found dead in a boarding house. Burns that didn't match the stove. An uncle in Virginia, tortured, mutilated, ruled ritual madness by a sheriff who didn't want to explain it. Different states, same bloodline. Someone was hunting the Delapores. And whoever it was, they weren't doing it for pleasure. They were asking questions. Every trail went cold just when it got interesting. Birth records vanished, church registries went missing. A family tree that looked like someone had taken pruning shears to it. Which told me two things. First, this wasn't chance. Someone was hiding. Second, I needed help from someone who had information that wasn't sitting in a county clerk's office. There was one person who had dug into the Delapores before. Someone who had asked questions. When the source was still sane. Muriel Grant, investigative reporter. Sharp mind and a little too brave for her own good. And just reckless enough to survive the truth. I met her back in 22, England. A house with a rat problem that turned out to be no rats. We both walked away from that one, more or less. I'd kept an eye on her since. She made a name digging where other people knew better than to look. Corrupt politicians, mob men, stories that didn't want telling. And when something didn't add up, Muriel Grant didn't let go.
Baltimore News American, Muriel Grant speaking.
Muriel, it's Thomas Malone.
Well, I'll be damned. I was starting to think you died. I hear you're one of Hoover's boys now.
Not boy, agent. Bureau of Investigation. I'm calling about the Delapore family.
Yeah. I was wondering how long it'd take you to call.
You still have your notes from XVII Priory? Anything Ambrose said about his family? Or any relatives?
Yes, I've still got my notes. I've also got the story I never published.
This isn't a story, Muriel.
How's Dr. Armitage?
What about Armitage?
I gave him a call about 9 months ago, fact-checking a museum robbery. He let slip he'd seen you. When I asked about it, he clammed up. When I pressed, he gave some cockamamie tale about running into you on the street. So, what were you two up to?
You don't want to know. You'll sleep better if you don't.
I always do. I'll find out one way or another.
I need to know if Ambrose Delapore mentioned any living family.
He did. And I already know why you're asking.
You've been looking into this.
For about 2 years now. 6 bodies in the Delapore family. And now Landry. That's why you're calling now, isn't it? Tell me, Thomas, how did he die?
Details haven't been released.
No, but when a man dies in a locked cell on an island, and no official word, I notice.
You know I can't say anything. If Hoover ever finds out.
He'll be furious. Which is usually when the truth leaks out.
Off the record, he died badly. Murdered.
Do you think it was Dr. Reed? Or whoever he really is?
Muriel, what do you really want?
The truth. And a chair across from you when you tell it.
Baltimore's out of my way.
So is Ocree Island.
All right. I'll come up. I can be there tomorrow. Train.
Good. There's a diner near Penn Station, the Liberty Bell, corner of Charles and Mount Royal. Noon?
That works.
And Thomas,
Yeah?
you're buying.
Same Muriel. Still running toward fires everyone else pretended weren't burning. I hung up the phone and stared at the wall like it might confess. I didn't like where this was going, but I liked it even less. That Muriel Grant was already there waiting for me. I took the train north out of Washington, out from under the Bureau's eye, if only for a few hours. There's something about trains. They give you time to think, which is usually the last thing you want when the past starts keeping pace. Muriel picked a diner near Penn Station. Bright lights, open booths. The kind of place where secrets don't stay quiet. They just get lost in the noise. She was already there, Of course she was.
You're late.
So was the train.
Funny. Easy excuse when you don't want to be somewhere.
You look well. How's your leg?
Hurts when it's going to rain. You look tired.
I am tired. Before we start, you should walk away from this.
You took a train to Baltimore to tell me that.
I'm serious, Muriel. This isn't ink and deadlines. People are dying.
They've been dying for years, Thomas. You just finally caught up.
You said 6 murders.
6 murders, different states, different years, same extended family. And a 7th, Ambrose Delapour.
That was a suicide.
Officially. Handwell Insane Asylum, 1923. Bit through his wrists like an animal.
You've been busy.
Ambrose told me a lot about his family when we were in London, waiting for you and the others to arrive. Mostly, he talked about his son and his late wife. But there was one name that stuck out. An older cousin. Ambrose called him the black sheep of the family. Randolph Delapour.
What do you have on him?
Randolph Delapour, born February 2nd, 1830, Beaumont, Virginia. At 16, he runs off to fight in the Mexican-American War. There are stories. Things soldiers don't brag about. Atrocities.
That tracks.
After the war, he doesn't come home. There's talk he rode with the scalp hunting gang in northern Mexico. 1850, the gang's wiped out by Quechan Indians in Arizona. Randolph's listed among the dead.
Listed?
That's the pattern. Nothing about him is tidy. Rumors he's in Haiti, learning Vodou. That lines up with what Ambrose told me. 1861, he's back. Confederate Army. Quantrill's Raiders. One of Bloody Bill Anderson's men. More atrocities. 1863, Bloody Bill and several of his men are killed in Albany, Missouri. Randolph is presumed dead. He pops up again in 1883, applies for a pension from the Mexican War.
After 30 years, address listed as some speck on the map town. Criner's Landing, Louisiana. Southern Bayou country. Tax records show 188 acres. An old plantation. Locals describe him as a Bokor, a voodoo priest.
1899, newspaper clipping. He saves a boy from drowning. Described him as a stoop-shouldered backwoods preacher. Long unkempt white hair and a thick beard. 1907, questioned by the police after a raid on a voodoo cult. Released for lack of evidence.
Do you have the name of the arresting officer?
Here it is. Sergeant J.R. Legrasse.
Spell that.
Legrasse. He's reported dead September 21st, 1912. New Orleans death certificate. House fire. Body burned beyond recognition. Identified by a signet ring.
That's not identification. That's convenience.
If he's still alive.
He'd be nearly 100. Wife? Children?
None of record.
What happened to the estate?
It was, bequeathed to the Church of the Living Sacrament.
That doesn't sound like a voodoo temple.
It isn't. Baptist adjacent. Fire and brimstone, from what I can tell.
Have you tracked down any other members of the Delapour line?
Landry was the last I could find.
That was good work.
Careful. Compliments from you make me nervous. I've also been digging into Dr. Reed.
Reed?
There is no record of Reed before 1916, so I went looking elsewhere. I've been digging around Shropshire, old parish records near Exham Priory. Different decades, different centuries. Same description. About 5'5", black hair, olive complexion. A man who doesn't belong. Always polite. Always nearby when things go wrong.
You think he's a ghost?
I think he's something that doesn't fit in a morgue drawer. Now, tell me about Landry.
He died in the infirmary. Badly. Torture, burns, mutilation. He was terrified of the man who did it.
How? And the cell?
Locked. Guarded.
That's all?
That's all you get. I'm heading to New Orleans. You're not.
Thomas.
This isn't a suggestion. You stay here. You dig quietly. And if I find something worth printing, I'll bring it back to you.
And if you don't?
Then you'll still be alive to complain about it.
Don't get killed.
No promises. The train ran south for 2 days. Long enough for the world I knew to start feeling like something I'd imagined. Past fields that didn't end. Green giving way to brown, then back again, like the land couldn't make up its mind what it wanted to be. Past towns that looked like they'd been nailed into the earth just to keep from drifting off. Water towers, grain silos, church steeples. All of it holding on. America's too big. You didn't realize it until you tried to cross it. Back home in Ireland, you can walk half a country before you need a rest. And if you keep walking, you'll find someone who knows your name. Here, you can ride for days and still be in the same state. I watched the land roll past the window like it was trying to forget something, or hide it. Stations came and went, same faces, same tired eyes. Men with hats pulled low, women holding bags like they owned everything they had left. Nobody talked much. Long journeys make people quiet. Give a man enough distance and he starts thinking about things he'd rather leave buried. I tried not to think about the past. Didn't do me much good. I'd thought of DC as the South. That was a mistake. Somewhere south of Richmond, the land started to soften. Like the whole country was sinking into something. By the time we crossed to Louisiana, the air changed. Thicker, slower, like it didn't see the point in rushing. Like it knew something I didn't. The kind of air that sticks to your skin. The kind that makes your color feel too tight, and your thoughts feel closer than they ought to be. We passed tobacco fields, endless rows, neat and orderly. Then the order started to slip. Fields gave way to water. Water gave way to swamp. Black water. Still. Too still. The kind that doesn't reflect the sky so much as swallow it. Swamps that look like they'd swallowed better men than me, and hadn't bothered to remember their names. That's when I started to feel it. Not fear, not yet. Something else. Like I wasn't heading somewhere, but being drawn. New Orleans was waiting. And whatever was moving beneath the surface was already there. New Orleans, late June. Hot enough to make your color feel like a noose. It was a Mardi Gras, but the city doesn't wait for the calendar to make noise. The city moved like it had secrets it wasn't done dancing with yet. Crews practicing in the streets. Sailors on leave spending their pay like they didn't plan to see another sunrise. Music in the gutters, rum in the air. Chaos with a rhythm. The French Quarter, they call it the Paris of the South. I'd seen Paris once in uniform. There were nights in France where the music almost made you forget the guns, and the mornings when the fog smelled like cordite and blood. New Orleans had that same trick. Beautiful, and just a little rotten underneath.
Bonjour.
Inspector John Raymond LaGrosse.
That's what they call me. You must be Agent Malone. Come in. Sit yourself down. So, came a long way to ask questions, huh? So tell me, agents, why the Bureau interested in my city? You here for the Klan? Or is it stolen cars? Or is it the Mann Act?
I'm looking into a man named Randolph Delapore.
Ah. Delapore. Well, that's a name I hadn't heard in, 15, maybe 20 years? No. That old swamp ghost.
Sounds like you remember him.
Oh, I remember him. But I'm afraid you're a little late. He died some time back.
Can you tell me more, please?
Long hair, white as a bone, beard down to his chest. You could hardly see his face. Stooped like the years weighed on him. I tell you what, that stoop, well, that was theater. Man wasn't half as feeble as he pretended. More canny than he let on to.
I've heard that you arrested him in XVII, if I read the record right.
Couple of days after we raided the swamp cult gathering, voodoo business. Ugly stuff. We picked him up. When we bring him in, clean as Sunday. Couldn't make it stick. No evidence tied him in. Had to let him walk.
And is there anything suspicious about it?
Round about 1911, I think. He had a plantation in Criner's Landing. Belle Ombre Plantation. The manor house burned to the ground. And they found a body in the ruins, all burned up real bad. Identified by a ring. No one but him lived there. So they say it must be him.
You believe it was him? Just the ring doesn't seem like solid evidence, if you ask me.
I believe someone was burned. If not him, well, he must have been in his mid-80s back in. If he'd still be around, I don't suppose he's causing any more trouble now.
Tell me more about the raid on the cult. How did that went down?
Now that was strange business. Started with missing people out on the bayou. Trappers, fishermen, then women and a few children. And at first we thought it was the usual. Eat by a gator, bit by a snake, or maybe got too close to someone still. But then we started hearing talk from the colored folks, the Cajuns. Talk about drums in the night and fires deep in the marsh where no man lived.
So you organized a raid?
Yeah, took about 20 deputies and a few volunteers who knew the bayou trails. We followed the sound of the drums for miles through the swamp. Past midnight, we found them. An island deep in a swamp. Cleared clean. Bodies strung up around the edge. Hung like slaughtered animals. The missing folks, head downward. Butchered. In the center, there must have been nearly 100 people. Mongrels, mostly sailors, white men, colored men, some women too. All naked. Dancing around a ring-shaped bonfire with a tall stone pillar in the center. Chanting. Same phrase. Over and over. Didn't sound like French or like English neither. Something older. On top of that stone pillar was this little idol they was praying to. Ugliest thing I ever did see. Part man, part octopus, part dragon. All wrong. Some ran, some fought like animals, but most of them just stared at us like they expected something else to happen. Arrested 47 that night.
What about Delport? Was he there?
No, he wasn't with the folks we caught, and couldn't get anyone to name him.
Did they say what the chanting meant? Were you ever able to translate it properly?
Eventually. We questioned one of them for hours. A half-mad fella by the name of Castro. He seemed proud of the whole affair. He said it means something like, at this house, somewhere or other, dead and so waits dreaming.
And did you ever get a clear interpretation of it? From how it sounds, it seems like generic cultist talk, if you asked me.
No, but I did something afterwards that might interest you. Now, I took that idol to a meeting of professors up in St. Louis, anthropologists, museum men. Figured one of them might know about it.
Interesting. Did they recognize it? It sounds like the kind of thing professors would love to analyze.
One man did. Professor from Rhode Island by the name of Angel. Said he seen drawings of the same creature in ancient records. Records from all over the world. Sailors, madmen, dreamers. He told me the cult we broke up was only one branch of something much older. Something that had been waiting a very long time. No, but that was years ago. And since then, just rumors. Swamp talk.
What happened to the idol in the end?
No, I left it with a professor by the name of Webb. You ask me, Agent Malone. The world's got enough trouble without chasing ghosts.
You were the one who caught Charles Landry, right? What can you tell me about him?
Nasty one. Did odd jobs around the parish. Sometimes swept the floors, handyman work over at the Church of the Living Sacrament.
The church that received Randolph Delport's estate, right?
Did it now? Well, that's, interesting.
That was the first thing that surprised him, which meant it was worth remembering. It did. Now, walk me through Landry's arrest. What exactly happened?
Oh, that was a dark business. Landry was working as a farmhand when those children went missing. Brother and sister. Bloodhounds tracked a scent into the swamp to a shack. Landry came out peaceful as a blue sky. Hands up. Didn't argue, didn't fight. But, inside that shack, they were hung like hogs. Butchered.
Strange. I'm trying to piece this together. Are there any connections between Delaport and the church?
Nah, not one I could prove. Church be respectable enough, led now by Reverend Lupin True.
This Reverend, what kind of preacher are we talking about?
Fire and brimstone. But fair. Mixed congregation and treats colored folks same as anyone else. Stood up to the Klan when they tried to scare him off. And that takes nerve around here.
That'll be all. Thank you for your time, Inspector LaGrasse. Before I go, just something I want to be sure of. I'm not missing anything of interest, correct? Has there been anything strange happening around here lately?
You want haunted? We got haunted. The trick is figuring out which ones bleed. This city's got history. 100 years ago, we got Delphine Lalaurie tortured and murdered at least a dozen slaves right here on Royal Street. Folks say the house still screams at night. There was Marie Laveau, Voodoo Queen. Half the quarter still leaves offerings for her. You already know about that swamp cult. Round about 1910 was Auguste de la Grange. Some say him a vampire, but vigilantes put a stake to his heart. Some say he was a voodoo man and a Catholic priest who done it together. Agent, they said he runs home strange.
New Orleans didn't hide its darkness. It paraded it. And somewhere beneath the music and the heat, a man who refused to die was waiting. The Church of the Living Sacrament stood at the edge of the colored section of town, close enough to the river that you could smell it. Mud, rot, and tar. Beyond it, rows of rotting warehouses sagged towards the docks. The church, large, clean, respectable. Big enough to be seen, close enough to be needed. The congregation was mixed. Dock workers in sweat-stained shirts. Women in pressed dresses. A few white businessmen in the back pews pretending they didn't notice the rest. I arrived in time to catch the end of his sermon.
One from the swamp and one from the sanctuary. You cannot down with darkness and ask the Lord to bless me. Some of you think your secrets are safe. Some of you think what you hide in the night will never be brought into the day. But hear me. Nothing buried stays buried forever. Not sin, not wickedness, not the bargains you made when you were desperate. The devil whispers. The devil whispers. Keep it close. Hold it tight. It gives you strength. But I tell you, what you hold in secret will one day hold you in chains. Break those chains break those chains! Cast out what binds you, bring it into the light, and let the Lord burn away what does not belong! For no darkness, no swamp, no shadow of wicked men can stand before the light of God!
He was tall, broad-shouldered, stout. Mid-50s, maybe. Jet black hair, neatly combed. A little too black. Brown glasses with a tint a bit too dark for the room. He looked like a man who belonged behind a pulpit. I waited for him after the service.
You look like a stranger to my congregation.
Agent Thomas Malone, Bureau of Investigation. I was hoping for a word in private.
Of course. This way, please.
The office was modest. A Bible on the desk, a photograph of the congregation on the wall. Everything in its place. Except we weren't alone.
Celeste, forgive us. I wasn't expecting visitors.
That's quite all right, Reverend.
Agent Malone, this is my ward, Celeste Desmarais. She assists me with correspondence.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
Miss Desmarais.
I'll step out and finish the accounts in the vestibule, Reverend.
Thank you, child.
She was 15, maybe. Bright green eyes, long ginger hair, pulled back in a neat braid.
She was a foundling, no known parents. The Lord saw fit to place her in my care. I've raised her as my own.
That's generous of you.
We are all called to shepherd the lost. How may I help you, Agent?
Charles Landry.
Yes, I heard he passed. A tragedy. He did odd jobs for us from time to time. Sweeping, repairs. He stopped coming around about a year before the incident. The devil had a hold of him long before the law did.
Did you know Randolph Delapore?
I'm afraid I never knew him personally. He passed before I assumed leadership here.
What have you heard about him?
That he was troubled. That he sought forgiveness near the end. Some men come to faith late. Better late than never.
Did he have family? Children?
None that I'm aware of. He seemed solitary.
I understand he left his estate to the church. Do you know what became of his possessions?
If I recall correctly, the church did receive a legacy. Land mostly. As for personal effects, I couldn't say. But I will ask my secretary to review the bequest documents.
I'd appreciate that. Here's my card. You can reach me at the Bureau Field Office in the Federal Building.
If there is anything of interest, you'll hear from me.
There's another matter. Have you seen this man?
No. I don't believe I have. Should I be concerned?
He's extremely dangerous. If he comes asking about Delapore, call the police. Ask for Inspector LaGrasse.
I appreciate your concern, Agent, but I place my faith in the stronger protection than the police. Is there anything else?
Not at this time. He walked me out himself. Polite, measured. A man with nothing to hide. He answered everything. Not too fast, not too slow. Which is what bothered me. I stepped out of the church, and that's when I saw her. Hat tilted, arms folded. Muriel Grant. You've got to be kidding me.
You really didn't think I'd stay in Baltimore, did you?
I didn't want to argue in front of the church. So we walked. Toward the river. Toward the warehouses. Toward someplace quieter. or as quiet as New Orleans ever gets. You shouldn't be here.
Well, hello to you, too.
I mean it, Muriel. This isn't Baltimore politics or crime. The Bureau doesn't need a reporter complicating matters.
Complicating? Thomas, I have a constitutional right to complicate matters. First Amendment. Ring any bells?
You're not tagging along.
Good. Because I'm not tagging along. I'm investigating. In parallel.
This man we're dealing with, he's not like the others. You saw what happened in England.
I remember. I'm a big girl now. That's why I've been training.
Training?
Self-defense.
Muriel.
Relax. Colt Model 1908. Vest pocket pistol. 7 rounds, 6 in the clip, 1 in the chamber, 25 caliber. It fits in a handbag and doesn't ruin the lines of a dress. It's the latest fashion accessory for the modern woman.
You've lost your mind.
No, I found it. See that bottle? Watch.
Muriel, don't! Christ! You could have drawn half the police force down here.
Abandoned warehouses, dock workers unloading cargo, river whistles, freight couplings. Anyone who heard that will think it was a backfire.
You're still reckless.
And you're still overprotective. I'm not going to let what happened in XVII happen again. Not to me. I go to the range twice a week. And take stuff for jitsu. So unless you plan on handcuffing me to a desk, I'm in this. You're not the only one digging, Thomas.
What have you found?
That newspaper account from 1899, the one about Randolph saving a drowning boy, I tracked down the reporter. Retired, lives upriver. He kept his notes. The boy's name was Charles Landry.
Jesus.
It gets better. One of the neighbors told the reporter that Landry wasn't just a rescued boy. He was Randolph's son.
Landry, the cannibal in the cell, the handyman in the church, Randolph's son.
And I pulled the tax map on Randolph's old property. I know exactly where it is. It's still technically held under church finances, signed over to Reverend Lupin True.
You got access to the church financial records?
I know how to ask nicely. And the man at the bank was so helpful.
She had access, I didn't. In instincts. And a reason to see this through that had nothing to do with headlines. You work with me. Not ahead of me, not behind me. With me. Where I can keep an eye on you.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One condition. You don't fire that thing again. Unless you have to. The river rolled past like it had all the time in the world. Somewhere beyond the warehouses, something older than the docks was waiting. And for the first time since I stepped off the train, I wasn't hunting alone. Too many roads led back to the church. Too many coincidences wore colors and scripture. So I watched. Reverend True's house sat just off the quarter, close enough to the river that the air never lost its salt. We took a table across the street. Coffee. Patience.
You look like you're waiting for a tiger to jump out.
I prefer not to be surprised.
That explains the personality.
You're enjoying this.
I enjoy being right.
You fired a gun in broad daylight. You're reckless.
You're paternal.
I'm practical.
You were practical at XVII, too. How'd that work out?
Low blow.
You started it. You don't get to decide what I can handle, Thomas.
I don't want to read about you in one of your own obituaries.
If I write my own obituary, it'll be flattering.
We were starting to work out the rhythm of this dance. Push, pull. Neither one willing to say what we meant.
Tell me about Reverend True. I've only seen him from across the street. Couldn't get much of a read.
All hell fire in the pulpit. One-on-one. He's smooth, charming.
And the dark glasses?
He's a performer. He only shows what he wants you to see.
So, what's your working theory? Reverend Lupin True, charitable shepherd, or something wearing the part?
I don't deal in theories.
You absolutely deal in theories. You just call them instinct.
Instincts kept me alive.
Instinct can also get you killed. You don't have to carry everything alone.
It's my job.
No, it's your habit. Tell me your impression of Reverend True.
Man of the cloth, takes in orphans, stands up to the clan. Doesn't care about the color of his congregation. He's hiding something.
What was it about him that bothered you?
He answered everything.
That's suspicious?
It is when he never hesitates.
Or when he's rehearsed?
Exactly. The front door of True's house opened and Celeste stepped out.
That her? The redhead?
Celeste Desmarais, his ward.
She looks like she should be worrying about dance cards.
Instead, she's living in a preacher's house by the docks.
You're worried about her.
I'm observant.
Same thing in your case.
Muriel,
Relax. I'm just going to talk.
I followed, lodging me. We caught up to Celeste near the French market. Dusk had softened the quarter. Lights flickered to life. The river rolled slow and heavy beyond the stalls. She turned when she heard us, poised, polite. Every inch the Reverend's ward.
Good evening again, Agent. Miss...
Grant. Muriel Grant.
Miss Desmarais, I have a few questions.
Of course, sir. Reverend True has always taught me to cooperate with lawful authority.
Does Reverend True often minister outside of the church? Or other places, maybe late at night?
He ministers where and when he is called. Sometimes that is late.
And where would that be?
Wherever the Lord requires him.
Rehearsed, every syllable pressed and proper. A war with manners.
Celeste. Do you like Coca-Cola?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like another? My treat.
I suppose that would be acceptable.
And just like that, the wall cracked. Grant bought the drinks and took the lead. I stood back and listened. For once, I wasn't the one asking the questions.
You're not from here.
That obvious, huh? I grew up outside of Boston. Lived in Los Angeles for a few years. Now I'm in Baltimore. I'm a reporter.
Truly? You work for a newspaper?
I do.
And you just go where you like? Ask questions? Write what you think?
More or less.
That's the cat's pajamas.
There it was. A girl under the polish and the southern manners.
Ships come in here all the time. Men from everywhere. France, Cuba, New York, even Africa. They tell stories right on the docks. And I'm meant to sit on the porch and pretend I don't hear them.
Reverend won't let you talk to them?
Not without him. Except once. An old Yankee captain. He stayed with us once years ago.
A captain?
That's what he called himself. Said he'd sailed everywhere worth going. He didn't look much like a sailor. Too pale. And his eyes, they weren't quite right.
How so?
They kind of bulged. And he didn't blink.
Do you remember his name?
It was something like Swamp or Bayou. The Reverend didn't like him. They argued about books. He told me about a place in Massachusetts, a fishing village where they had friends come and visit from across the sea. The Reverend said that was enough worldly nonsense and My place was right here.
And is that what you believed?
I believe I don't have much choice.
You will. A few more years and you'll be able to go wherever you like.
I don't think so.
Oh? Why not?
Reverend says I'm chosen
Chosen for what?
for something important. That I have a special purpose. That I'm meant to stay.
And what do you want?
I want to see the world. I want to step on a ship and not know where it's going. I want to decide something for myself.
You mentioned he goes somewhere at night.
The old landing.
Craner's Landing.
He just calls it the old landing. He said something about beautiful shadows and Aussie something or other. He just calls it quiet. Good for prayer.
Does he take you?
No, he goes alone. After midnight, sometimes. Comes back before dawn, smelling like smoke and river mud. Something's going to happen. I can feel it.
Does that frighten you?
No. It makes me feel like I'm finally a part of something. I should go. Reverend doesn't like me out after dark.
Celeste, if you ever decide you want more than this, what's been chosen for you, you come find me.
You really think I could?
I know you could. Here's my card. Call that number and they'll know how to find me.
Take mine as well. She walked back toward the church lights. 15. Chosen. And standing at the edge of something she didn't understand. The next morning, we rented a Ford and drove south. Past the edge of the city, past the docks. Past where the river still pretended it cared about maps. Craner's Landing used to sit on the water. Then the Mississippi decided otherwise.
All this used to be riverfront. Hard to imagine now.
You said the river moved.
About 40 years back, flood season. Cut a new channel 2 miles west. Overnight, this place went from port town to pasture and swamp.
And no river means no money. Ghost town.
Not quite. Ghost towns don't hang laundry.
You folks lost? We don't get many strangers round here. Lessen they lost.
We're looking for the old Bel Hombre plantation. Do you know where it is?
Bel Hombre. Why y'all want to go there? Ain't nothing good about that place.
I'm writing about the old plantations. Bel Hombre used to be one of the big ones.
That's so. Well, ain't no one from the landing goes there.
Why not?
It's a bad place. I feel it as soon as you step past the trees.
Feel what?
Like something don't want you there. And the lights.
Lights?
Sometimes you see lanterns moving round the old grounds, and drums carrying through the trees.
Which direction?
Keep down this road about a mile. On the right, you'll see a busted iron gate and a stand of old cypress. That's Bel Hombre.
Oh, thank you.
hombre plantation sat at the edge of what used to be riverfront. The manor house had burned to its bones, blackened chimneys reaching like fingers out of a thicket of overgrown vegetation. Fire did a thorough job.
1912. Reported accidental fire, identified by a signet ring.
Convenient.
Very.
You ever notice how men who are deeply troubled always leave tidy paperwork behind?
Death certificates are relatively cheap. Bodies are harder.
Beyond the ruins, outbuildings. Rows of cabins collapsed, sagging into the earth.
Slave quarters.
Still standing longer than the house.
There's a metaphor in there somewhere. See that? The soot's fresh. Look at the color. That's not 30-year-old ash. Someone's been burning something.
She was right. The brick was old. The smoke wasn't.
Thomas!
I see it.
That's not decoration.
Some sort of fetish nailed to a tree. Dog skull, feathers, twine, and a smear of blood.
Voodoo?
Or no trespassing sign.
You're not rattled?
I've seen worse nailed to trees.
There's another building up ahead.
A barn, still upright. Paint long gone. But the roof intact. So the house burns, but the barn survives. The inside of the barn felt wrong the second I stepped through the door. More than one set of footprints had churned the dirt floor into overlapping trails, as if people had been pacing in circles for hours in the open center. Hanging from the rafters were strange little trinkets tied together with twine. Tiny skulls, cloudy glass bottles, feathers, and brittle bones, all swaying gently wherever the wind slipped through the cracks in the walls. Candle wax covered nearly everything. It dripped down beams, pooled across tables, and hardened over the floor in thick bare layers. Beneath it, I could make out scratches carved into the wood, half hidden by soot and smoke stains. Shrine.
Active shrine. So Randolph dies in a fire, leaves everything to a church, and yet somehow this place is still in use.
You think True comes out here?
You think he doesn't?
Celeste said he goes to the old landing.
This is the old landing.
No. Feels wrong.
Do you hear that?
I hear it. Like a signal. We should leave.
It's closer.
Stay near the door.
Thomas. Far end of the field. 3 people. Coming this way. Those aren't farmhands.
No. They didn't hurry, didn't stumble, didn't look around. Just came straight on. Something was wrong. Too stiff, too straight. Like marionettes pulled by invisible wire. Every step landing on the beat. Like the drum was walking them forward. No sway, no breath. No weight in the shoulders. Just motion. Like bodies remembering how to walk, without remembering why. Inside, now.
are it.
I'd seen men drunk, seen men mad, seen men dying on their feet. This wasn't any of that. This was absence. Something too familiar. Something that brought back bad memories.
You thought I was reckless before.
My mistake.
I thought you weren't allowed to carry a gun.
I'm not. Armed! Back off or we'll shoot! No warning, no shout, no breath behind it, just force, until the world gave way.
I'll break it!
Up close, they were wrong. Skin gray, loose, mouth slack, and the smell.
Shit!
She hit it center mass. A shot that would drop a man. It didn't even notice. They kept coming. Training says aim for the head. Bone gave, flesh tore, and it kept coming. I picked up a 2x4. No time to think, just distance and impact. I hit one full across the jaw, hard enough to drop a bull. Felt bone give under the impact. It didn't care. It hit like a freight car. No hesitation, no restraint. Just force applied in the direction of movement. I went down like a child. No fear in it. That's what got me. No fear at all. That drum was driving them. Every beat, a step. Every beat, a grip tightening. Every beat, closer.
Thomas!
It had her by the throat. I saw her lifted. Her hands clawing at something that didn't feel pain. Didn't breathe. Didn't hesitate. Her face went red. Then white. And for 1 second, I thought it was too late. I lunged and fired point blank. Nothing. I tried to pull its hand away from her throat. I was grabbed from behind. It was like being crushed in a vice. I felt the breath being squeezed out of me. Then... silence. It stopped. Not faded, not weakened. Stopped. And so did they. All at once. Like someone cut the strings.
What the hell?
Stay there. I'll check outside.
Don't take long.
Outside. Summer. Still, calm. As if nothing had happened at all. Then we saw him. In the tall grass by a dead cypress. The source. A black man. Or what used to be. Neck twisted too far. Beside him, a broken rawhide drum decorated with bones and feathers. No struggle, no tracks. No sign of who did it. Just 3 corpses rotting back into themselves. And a drummer with his head twisted like a doll. Which meant one thing. We weren't alone out there. Bel Hombre Plantation wasn't abandoned. It was occupied. And something we couldn't see, had just chosen to intervene. We drove most of the way back in silence. Adrenaline fading. Grant's throat already darkening at the edges. My ribs probably cracked.
Ugh, damn it.
You're all right.
Fine. I need a drink.
You won't hear me argue. We found a speakeasy off Bourbon Street. No sign outside. But they didn't even try to hide what they were. We took a booth in the back, where the light was low. She wasn't fine. Neither was I.
They were dead, weren't they, Thomas? Not sick, not drugged, dead. That wasn't Reverend True's Bible Club. That was something else.
True has motive. We know he's tied to the landing. We've seen evidence of rituals.
What about Randolph? He'd be ancient, but he's faked death before. It wouldn't be the first time.
Maybe. But whoever broke the drummer's neck, that wasn't chance.
You think True did it?
I don't know.
Yes, but that felt different.
Different how?
Precise. True's a preacher, a showman. This was surgical.
You're assuming he was there at all.
Wasn't he?
Maybe. Or maybe he answers to someone.
You think he's working with Randolph?
I think Reverend True is hiding something. And I know someone wanted me in this city. The wall of Landry's cell. There was a message written in his blood. Addressed to me. By name. In Latin.
What did it say?
My name and... What you seek is in the city, where Old Man River meets the sea. It was signed... XVII.
You think it was him?
I'm certain the man who tortured Landry is the same one we knew as Dr. Reed.
Certain?
As certain as I can be without watching him do it.
Reed. Then what was tonight?
I don't know.
Those things. They moved when the drum beat.
Yes.
And when it stopped.
They dropped.
And the drummer's neck. Do you think Reed was there?
I think if Reed wanted us dead, we'd be dead.
That's not comforting.
It's not meant to be.
You remember the name he called himself? Beneath the priory?
No. Something old. Something that sounded Roman. That's all I have.
So, what are we dealing with? Reed? Randolph? True? All of them?
I don't know yet. But I know this. True's hiding something. The landing is active. And the man who killed Landry is somewhere in this city.
And if Reed was there tonight?
Then he didn't save us. He kept us in play.
That's worse. I almost died. I could feel it. My lungs just stopped. And all I could think was, I'm going to die in a barn in Louisiana.
You chose to be there.
Don't you dare! You don't get to push me out and then pull me in when it suits you. You don't get to decide what I can survive. But if that drum hadn't stopped...
I should have sent you back to Baltimore.
Thomas, I'm not made of glass. But I'm not invincible either.
I can't keep you out of this.
No, you can't.
Then we do it together.
Good. Because I'm not sitting in Baltimore waiting for you to send me a postcard from the apocalypse.
When you finish your drink, I'll walk you back.
I can walk myself. You don't need to escort me like some debutante.
I know.
All right.
She said it like a concession, but she didn't argue twice. I saw it then. The tremor in her hands, the bruises blooming around her throat. The way she kept flexing her fingers like they didn't quite belong to her yet. She was shaken. We stepped outside of the speakeasy and into the sultry night. The city pulsed around us. Music, heat, river breath. Somewhere out there, someone was moving pieces. And we were already on the board.
You're not my keeper, and I don't need saving.
I know. There's a shortcut. Through here. As we cut through the alley, the city got quieter. Not silent, muted. Like someone had closed the door on it.
Thomas, what the hell is happening?
Detective, Miss Grant, I see you've met Randolph's parishioners.
Reed.
I haven't used that name in years. It served its purpose. Please, call me Lucius. So few people do these days. We have business to attend to, Detective.
It's agent now, not detective.
Agent is your employment. Detective is what you are.
You son of a...
I wouldn't draw that gun, Miss Grant. You're still bruised. And I would hate to see you tested again tonight.
Were you at the landing?
You were at the landing, Detective.
Answer the question.
You survived. That seems the relevant detail.
You tortured Landry. You drove Ambrose mad. You destroyed Eddie. You don't get to stand there like you're above this.
Landry was a monster. Ambrose acquired very little encouragement. And Eddie was unfortunate.
Randolph. Is he alive?
Yes.
Impossible.
Unlikely, not impossible. An old family recipe keeps him going.
Where is he?
Hidden. He has acquired just enough knowledge to be inconvenient. He cannot be found through ritual, nor can the object he holds.
The book?
You see, Detective, you are already proving yourself.
You're hunting him?
I am correcting a mistake.
And this book?
His ancestor stole it from me. Long ago. I doubt he is capable of reading it. He certainly cannot comprehend it, but proximity alone grants power. Like a child holding a lit match in a powder room.
Then why not find him yourself?
I told you. He shields himself. Magic does not find him. Incantation does not reveal him. Divination circles emptiness. But you, detective, do not rely on such things. You follow evidence, blood, habit, contradiction. You go where the truth leads. That is why you are here.
The message on Landry's wall.
Landry was uncooperative.
You butchered him.
I was efficient. The world is not poorer for his absence.
You led me here.
I presented you with a choice, detective. You came.
And tonight, did you present us with a choice in that barn too?
You are alive, Miss Grant. That should answer your question.
The drummer.
An obstacle.
Why do you need us?
Because a storm is coming. Something vast, pressing against this world. Randolph thinks he can bargain with it. He cannot.
And you can.
I have lived far too long to let the world fall to fanaticism. And I wish to preserve the status quo.
That's why you want this book.
Yes. For balance. There was a time I might have welcomed what is coming. Now, I find this age remarkable. You really have no idea how miraculous your time is, do you? It would be unthinkable to let it fall to the freedom of chaos.
What is this book? How will we know when we find it?
You won't mistake it. And when you touch it, detective, you will understand why men kill to keep it.
And we're supposed to trust you with it.
I assure you, my intentions are altruistic.
What? You expect us to believe you're the lesser evil?
You misunderstand. I do not require belief. Only cooperation. Ignore me. Walk away, and what is coming will not be stopped. Or find him, recover what is mine, and perhaps help prevent something neither of you are equipped to imagine.
And when it's done,
then you may attempt to arrest me.
Huh. You think you're untouchable?
No. Just not by you. Detective, Miss Grant. Until we meet again.
Lucius, you're not going anywhere.
Do try to be quick, detective. Storm is coming. There is no shelter.
Christ.
I hate him.
So did I. That was the problem. I walked her back to the hotel, persuaded the clerk I needed a room on the same floor. He didn't ask questions. Money in a badge helps.
You didn't have to do that.
I'll just be down the hall. It's better we're close.
Just in case.
Yes, just in case.
I should have pulled my gun. I had it. Right there. And I froze.
He counted on that.
Don't excuse me.
I'm not. I'm explaining him.
He stands there like he owns the city. Like the rest of us are props.
He needs us.
He's using us. I hate that he might be telling the truth. Alright, let's be rational. We assume Randolph's alive. We assume he has this book. We assume Reverend True is hiding something. What don't we know?
How Randolph and True connect. Whether they're partners or rivals.
I checked with some contacts at the Times-Picayune when I first got into town. I was looking for local background sources, people who know about the occult. Not quacks or charlatans. Scholars. We need more information, Thomas, if we are ever going to get a grip on this.
Go on.
2 names came up. Etienne Marigny, Creole, mystic, mathematician, Orientalist.
And the other?
Arlie Warren, occultist scholar, expert in ancient languages. From South Carolina, but he's been here for at least a decade. Long enough to get comfortable.
I'll check with the local bureau office tomorrow. Or whatever they have on True. Randolph. Anyone tied to Criner's Landing.
And Lucius?
Men like that don't leave paperwork. I'll call Dr. Armitage in the morning. If anyone knows about that book, it's him.
You think Lucius was telling the truth?
About Randolph? Yes. About the rest? He told us just enough to move us.
You're not afraid of him.
That's not true. I just don't let him see it.
All right. Tomorrow we pull threads. And we see what unravels.
A fan turned slowly overhead. The city breathed outside the window. And somewhere in it, 2 men who refused to die were moving pieces across the same board. And we were already in play. Tried to call Armitage, out of the country, unreachable. Marigny was in France, which left us one name. Harley Warren. I pulled his file before we went. Buried charges, moral impropriety and other allegations. Quietly suppressed. Men like Warren don't survive scandal without friends. Or something better than friends. Warren lived in Storyville. They outlawed the brothels back in 17. That just pushed the sin into the shadows. Now the district just pretended to be respectable.
Come on in, if you must.
Harley Warren.
Gentlemen, miss, you look official. How inconvenient. Yes.
Agent Malone, Bureau of Investigation. This is Miss Grant.
Bureau of Investigation? I noticed that he didn't call you Agent Grant.
Muriel Grant, Hearst News. I'm assisting with an investigation.
Ah, press and police. A charming combination. But I'm afraid I'm a little busy. I have a train to catch. Perhaps you could come back in a week or so?
I'm afraid not. I would prefer to keep this friendly. I've seen your file. You have a few skeletons you'd probably prefer kept in the closet.
Oscar Wilde once said the only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about. I have little fear of scandal.
Maybe so. I could still have you held for a few days.
I do dislike inconvenience.
Is there someone else here?
That's just Randolph packing. He's terribly methodical.
Randolph?
Yes. My friend Randolph Carter. He's a Boston Yankee. You look as though I've invoked something sinister. I assure you, he frightens more easily than he frightens others. Timid as a church mouse and twice as pale. Now, what is it you want?
Information about a practitioner who once lived in the area.
Very well. I have a train to catch at noon, so if this conversation prevents delay, let us be efficient.
We're investigating Randolph Delapore.
Ah, that's why you jumped at my friend's name. Delapore. Yes, I've heard the name. So, you want the White Bacor?
He's dead.
No, he was declared dead. Those are not the same thing.
You knew him?
Not personally, but one does not study regional mysticism without hearing the name. He was a Bacor, a voodoo priest. Powerful, ambitious, cruel.
His cult was broken up in 1907.
Cults like his do not dissolve. They fragment. They wait.
What do you know about zombies?
Zombie. If you're going to pronounce it, at least do it correctly. The Lua are summoned. They do not raise the body. They inhabit it. The corpse becomes a vessel. The beating of a drum acts like a heartbeat. Remove the drum, the spirit departs.
You seem well informed.
It's my profession.
What about a book Randolph Delapore possessed?
A couple years ago, I was approached in exchange for payment and a volume I required for my own research.
Who hired you?
I never saw his face. A courier delivered a binding contract. I was blindfolded, driven for some time out to bayou country, judging from the smell. I was led down a trail, the last part across planks over wet ground, taken up a rickety stairs and into a structure that felt wrong. The whole room was askew, tilted, smelled of rot. They sat me at a table, and I was permitted to remove the blindfold. The windows, glass painted black. The book was placed before me, very old, very fine vellum.
The book have a title?
I saw none, but I believe it was the Kitab al-Azif. Not the original, of course, but a very early copy, perhaps from around 1000 CE. You may know it by its Greek name, Necronomicon.
And you translated it?
Several pages, yes.
What did it say?
I can't recall. That was part of the contract. A binding. It prevented me from remembering any of what I translated.
Convenient.
Not at all. It was not pleasant. I was gravely ill afterward. Brain fever. Delirium. Only fragments remain. Like dreams of something stirring beneath black water.
Was there anyone else in the room?
Yes. 2 men. And a third stayed outside the room. They wore carnival masks. Mostly stood behind me. Otherwise, they kept to the shadows. The room was dark, with only a single lantern over the table.
Do they talk? What do they sound like?
Only in whispers. One sounded older, raspy voice with a New England Yankee accent. The other was a Southerner. I couldn't say how old he was. The Southerner seemed to be the owner of the book. The other, I believe, had bargained to have the section translated.
Is there anything else?
Ollie, which boots do you... Oh. I didn't realize you had company.
Agent Malone, Miss Grant. This is Mr. Randolph Carter. Carter, these people are from the Bureau of something or other.
A pleasure.
They were just inquiring about that translation job I did a few years ago.
While you are here, Mr. Carter, perhaps you could answer a few questions.
Yeah, I suppose.
Were you involved at all in the translation?
No, Ollie's the linguist. I'm only fluent in a few languages.
Do you know anything about Randolph Delapore?
No, I don't believe I do. Did Holly tell you about the smell? Old water. Rot. Like something sealed too long.
You've seen it?
No, I've only heard Holly describe it.
Yes, thank you, Carter. That will be all. Why don't you finish packing? And it's the black rubberized boots.
Of course.
And don't forget that spool of wire. He has a tendency toward dramatics. Pay it no mind. Now, if that is all, Agent Malone, Miss Grant, the cab will be here any minute.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Warren.
I don't know what you have got yourself mixed up in, and I don't want to know. But be very careful. We are entering a very dangerous period. We are on the cusp. Conjunctions are happening that the world hasn't seen since the start of the Dark Ages. It begins tonight. A time of ritual. If your Delapore, or whoever inherited his mantle, intends something, it will start tonight. If you intend to interfere, do so quickly. Our train waits for no one. And neither, I suspect, does your Bocour. Good day. Hurry up, Carter!
The storm chose its moment, and so did the city. Streetcar strike turned ugly about the same time the sky had opened up. Half the police force trying to keep the other half of the city from tearing itself apart. We pushed through it and made it back to the hotel.
Agent Malone?
That's me.
Got a letter for you. Came by a little while ago. Said it was urgent.
Who left it?
A young girl, red hair.
Celeste!
I'll leave it to you. Have a nice evening.
The envelope was plain. My name in a neat, careful hand.
What does it say?
Agent Malone. I do not know who else to trust. Reverend True is not what he claims. I have seen things I cannot reconcile with what he teaches. He is going somewhere tonight. Back to the old landing. There's an old steamboat beyond Randolph Delapore's plantation, hidden past the barn. I'm afraid. Please come quickly.
The place Warren said he was taken. Blindfolded. Out in the bayou. He said the room felt wrong. Tilted. Could that have been an old boat?
Yeah. Could be.
If she's frightened enough to write this...
Then she thinks she's in trouble.
So we go to the landing?
No.
No?
We check the church first.
You think True's still there?
If Celeste wrote this, he might be.
And if he isn't?
Then we'll know one of two things. Either she was telling the truth, or someone wanted us to find this.
Oh, what did you get yourself into, Celeste?
Stay here. I need to grab something from my room.
What do you mean?
Insurance. The storm had teeth now, lightning crawling across the sky. lights were out when we reached the church. That didn't mean it was empty. The sanctuary was dark, still. No parishioners, no preacher. Just the storm, breathing through the rafters. Grant had found the door to Celeste's room.
Celeste! Celeste!
The window was open, the storm blowing straight through the room. First thing I noticed, nothing was where it should have been. Drawers open, chair knocked over. Not a search, a struggle.
She's gone. Thomas, it's your card.
My card?
There's blood on it. And this. Looks like some kind of a circle. You're on in a hurry.
Let me see. A ritual diagram. Crude, but deliberate.
What's written under it?
Ozymandias.
What's that?
An Egyptian pharaoh. Or a poem.
You think she wrote this?
Looks like the same handwriting as the letter from the hotel.
Or maybe someone wanted us to see it.
Yeah. And wanted us to follow it. I'm going to try to get us some backup.
Yeah?
Inspector LaGrasse, this is Agent Malone.
No, Agent, this is a bad time.
Something's happening out at Criner's Landing. Court activity. Possible kidnapping.
You're serious?
Dead serious.
But I can't help you.
Why not?
Because the whole damn city is on fire. Streetcar strike turned riot. Storm's making it worse. Every officer I got is already out there. Whatever you're walking into, you're walking into it alone.
Understood.
No help?
No help.
Then what?
Then we go to Criner's Landing.
Just the two of us.
Yeah. Criner's Landing was 30 minutes outside the city on a good night. This wasn't a good night. A storm had followed us, thunder rolling low across the swamps, Spanish moss hanging from the trees, like something dead that refused to fall.
This place gives me a bad feeling. So, what exactly was in the insurance policy?
Trench gun, Winchester M97, pump action, 12 gauge. Holds 5 in the magazine, plus 1 in the battery. These aren't standard loads.
Oh. What are they?
Something Dr. Armitage helped me work out. Mostly cold iron, silver, salt. A few other things he wouldn't put in writing.
You expect that to work?
Tonight, I expect anything. Stay here with the car.
Not happening.
Muriel.
I didn't come this far to hide behind a barn.
But if things turn bad...
They already have.
Fine. The barn was just as we left it. The bodies were gone. Nothing left but the rain. And the feeling we were late. But the letter wasn't wrong. There was something beyond it. I hear it. The sound came from deeper in the swamp. Then lightning showed us the ship.
Jesus.
A side-wheel steam riverboat, rotting where it had been dragged deep into the swamp. Stranded on mostly dry land, too far for navigable waters. Too big to move. Like something that had been put there, listing slightly to port.
How the hell did it get here?
That's a good question.
Look!
The name.
Ozymandias.
Look on my works, you mighty, and despair.
What?
Shelley. Poem about a king who thought his empire would last forever. Didn't work out for him either.
That's coming from inside the ship.
Yeah. Let's go see what's making it. Ozymandias smelled of rotten river mud. Decades of storms had gnawed at her bones, but she was still standing. The deck lit beneath our feet, a circle hidden under the leaf that had burst into a pale fire. My muscles locked like someone had cut the wires. Masked figures came out of the dark like swamp ghosts. By the time I could move again, my hands were tied.
Let me go, damn it!
They dragged us into the Grand Saloon.
Let me go!
Once it must have been the pride of the ship. Velvet, chandeliers, polished wood. Now it was rotten mold and lantern smoke. Skylights broken, rain pouring in, and worshippers. Dozens of them. At the center of the room, Celeste. Bound inside a chalk circle. Not screaming, not struggling. Just staring upward like she was waiting for something beautiful. The priest stood over her, masked, reading from a book that shouldn't exist.
You have come of your own free will. You crossed the threshold. You entered the circle. Witness and sacrifice.
You're insane.
No. I am patient.
The priest lifted the mask, rain washing the dye from his hair in black streaks, revealing the white hair beneath. Ancient white.
True. Both names serve their purpose.
I needed to get him talking, to buy some time, until I could come up with a plan and work the ropes loose.
That's not possible. If you were Randolph Delapore, you'd be nearly 100. I'm Randolph Delapore, and I will be 99 come September. When I was a boy, I found my grandfather's strongbox. Inside were the papers of Walter Delapore. Our bloodline, our curse, and the book he stole when he butchered his kin and fled to the Americas. Most of my family tried to escape what we are. I embraced it. Cannibal rights preserved my youth, decades after decades.
You look like your cousin Ambrose.
I heard he went mad over in England and killed himself. Now why have you come? For the book. You are not worthy of it.
Why are you doing all of this?
I found something greater. Long ago when I was still a teen, I rode with a gang of killers, scalp hunters. In the desert, we found something buried in the sand of a dead city. An idol, a thing older than any church. It unlocked the power of the book. It showed me a new truth. This world is about to change. The old ones stir beneath the sea, and tonight, their message comes. The book speaks the language of power, though I cannot read its words. When I held the idol, I could know its truth. but I no longer need it now. It has magnified my will, and my will is stronger than death. Bring them out onto the Texas deck.
They dragged us up to the Texas deck. Torches burned in iron baskets. At the center, an altar. Celeste forced to bow before it. And at the head of the altar, a thick black book. Pelted by rain, but it still looked dry.
The vessel is prepared. The witnesses are present. Now, the sacrifice.
They wrestled Muriel onto the altar and held her down. Randolph Delapore stood over her and raised a foot-long sacrificial blade over her.
Thomas!
Muriel! Randolph, stop! You don't need to do this, damn it! Let me go! True raised the blade, gripped in both hands.
What?
The knife never fell. Someone moved. Fast. Precise.
Enough.
One of the cultists stepped forward. Too composed.
Lucius!
You!
Randolph, you've outlived your understanding. You're attempting a ritual far beyond your comprehension. Now hand over what you stole.
You came for the book.
Of course.
And stay and watch. You are just in time. Behold the messenger!
Something landed on the pilot house, hard enough to shake the bones out of the ship. A swollen, pale bulk. Tentacles writhing where a face should be. Eyes that shine like they understood too much. Wings folded like something broken. Something that had no right to exist under our sky. The messenger.
What the hell is that?
Now look upon what I have called forth in despair!
Slick with rain, the rope slipped just enough. I twisted my hands and pulled. I tore free. Didn't think about it, didn't feel it.
Detective, your weapon.
Lucius slid the shotgun across the deck. Got it!
Thomas!
Move! The thing dropped from the pilot house onto the deck. Too much weight for a ship that should have collapsed decades ago. The boards beneath it split open like rotten teeth. The deck started to give way, and it wasn't going to stop.
Stop here!
Not tonight!
Celeste! Muriel. You came.
Of course we did! Come on! Stay with me!
It was supposed to be beautiful.
Not tonight it isn't! Come on!
Grant had to half carry her as the deck started to give beneath us. The shotgun blast caught the messenger square in the eye. It screamed, cutting through the storm like the world itself had betrayed it. It fixed me with its remaining eye. I could feel its fury. Then it threw itself back into the rain, disappearing into the storm. With a few shots, I'd undone whatever Randolph was trying to bring into being.
Thomas! The deck's going!
Even without the creature's weight, the damage kept spreading, rotten beams snapping one after another. The Ozymandias had taken enough. Rot and weight and whatever that thing had been. The deck started to give. The faithful went first, pulled down into the dark with the rest of the rot. And through the chaos, Randolph charged toward me.
Thomas! Look out!
Mine!
He flew past me and snatched the book from the water. Drop it! I went for him. One shot, one chance. Then Lucius shoved. I went down hard. Off balance. The wet deck tilting.
He's heading for the rail!
Oh, sus! He's getting away!
Yes. Let him.
You're too late. I have the word now. You'll never take it from me.
Damn it!
He jumped!
You let him escape.
Look at him, detective. Wounded, frightened, his cult destroyed, and carrying something he cannot comprehend.
He has the Necronomicon. You let him take it.
No. I returned it to the board. If I take it now, the trail ends. If he keeps it, he runs. He hides. He begs protection from something worse than himself. And in doing so, he leads us to the real threat. To those who actually understand it.
You planned this!
Of course.
People are going to die.
Fewer than if I had acted too soon.
Thomas! We have to move!
Your concern is survival. Mine is conclusion. You chose the girl. That was the right mistake.
Just like that, he was gone. Not chasing, not worried. Like this had gone exactly the way he intended. Randolph Delapore, alive. Running through the storm, with the most dangerous book ever written under his arm. I grabbed Celeste under the arm, dead weight and shaking. The three of us moving as one. We dragged her off that dying ship, one step ahead of it coming apart beneath us. Storm above, rot below, and somewhere in the swamp, something worse had just been given a direction. The storm passed in the night, left the city standing, barely. By morning, New Orleans was already pretending nothing had happened. That's what cities do. Bury things. Same as people.
You look like hell, Agent.
Feel worse.
You should see the other guy.
Oh, I intend to. I sent men out to Criner's Landing at first light. They found a ship, or what's left of it, collapsed in on itself. Half-rotted timbers sunk in the mud like it was trying to crawl back underground. Bodies, too. Several badly broken. Drowned where the river used to be.
And Delapore?
No sign of him. No sign of your Reverend True either.
Same man.
So you keep saying. We searched the church, rectory, parsonage, turned the place inside out. Nothing. No book but the good book. No trace they were even ever there. Beyond what you already saw. Anyway.
Celeste?
Oh, the doctor says she's all right, shaken, but nothing permanent. Not arranged placement. Family upstate, good people. I'll keep her away from all this. Girl will have a chance to start over.
That's something.
Best we can do. As for the rest of it, so I'll be reaching out to someone. Now I figure it's time I stop pretending that this is just another case file. So, What about you two? Trail's gone cold.
Yeah. Cold. For now. I'll head back to Washington. Light it up. Fire it where no one will look too close.
And you, Miss Grant?
Baltimore. Try to turn this into something printable without getting myself committed.
Well, that might be your hardest task yet.
My editor's already furious. City tears itself apart, and I bring back nothing but notes and a headache.
Now that just won't do. Tell you what, I'll give you something.
Oh?
Exclusive interview. Inspector John Raymond LaGrasse on the front lines of the streetcar strike riots. Bravery under pressure, measured response, and heroic restraint.
You're writing the headline for me now?
Now I'm giving you a lifeline. You're welcome to dress it up however you like.
I might just take you up on that.
My official report to the Bureau was short. Caulked activity, storm damage, structural collapse of an abandoned vessel. No mention of monsters. No mention of books bound in human skin. Just another night in the city that had already seen too much. Only Hoover got the full report. Grant asked me later if I trusted Lucius. I told her no. If Lucius truly understands what is coming, he may be one of the few things standing in its way. Malone.
Agent Malone, this is Deputy Warden Haskins. We were going through Landry's belongings. Found something you might want to see.
What kind of something?
Well, it's a photograph hidden in the binding of his Bible. Looks like a family portrait. Landry and a woman holding a young girl. The woman's face has been scratched out.
The girl?
About 8, maybe. Freckles. There's writing on the back.
What does it say?
I love you, Daddy. It is signed Celeste. Looks like he had a daughter.
Grant and I never proved it, but the pieces fit. Landry's daughter, raised in the shadow of something rotten. And maybe not as innocent as she looked. LaGrasse wired me 2 days later. Celeste disappeared from the hospital the day after we left New Orleans. No witnesses, no trace. The storm passed, the city calmed down. But every now and then, when the night is quiet enough, I swear I can still hear it. And I can't help wondering if that night in the swamp wasn't the end of something, but the beginning.
They will say it was the storm, that the ship collapsed under its own rot, that the dead were victims of bad timber, bad weather, and worse decision. The papers will print what they always print. The city will bury what it always buries. And by next week, there will be music in the streets again. But some things were not buried that night. A man walked out of the swamp carrying a book that should not exist. A girl vanished before anyone could decide what she truly was. And somewhere, beneath the noise of the living, something listened and learned. Detective Malone returned to his desk, to his reports, to the careful language of men who survive by not saying too much. But he has seen what waits beyond the edge of reason. And he knows now this was never just one case. The currents that move beneath the world are shifting. Old names are spoken again. And the things that answer them are beginning to stir. A.P. Boulay as Thomas Malone, RisibleZombie as Muriel Grant, Finn Pearson as Randolph Delapore, David Bryson as Inspector Legrasse, Lane Leathers as Charles Landry, Virgil Moriarty as Warden Haskin, Al as Celeste Desmarais, Chris Harris Beachy as Randolph Carter, Douglas Grosser as Harley Warren, Paul Singer as the yokel, Jeff Devine as the narrator. Artwork by Hal. Original music by João Victor Vila. Written by Jeff Devine. Directed and produced by João Victor Vila. This has been Dead River Requiem, brought to you by the Eldritch episodes. These are not just stories, they are warnings.